Welcome, friends. Thanks for joining us for this Transgender Day of Resilience celebration ceremony brought to you by Circle Sanctuary. In the beginning, Turtle Island was queer, and ideas that are prevalent now about gender and what that means and about how that should function in our relationships are all constructs that were brought to this continent along with colonization and all sorts of other evil and insidious things. But we want to acknowledge that everywhere we are in this land of Turtle Island, we are on stolen land. And we honor the history, sovereignty, and contributions of Native peoples, past, present, and future, in this land. And we recognize a legacy of broken treaties and covenants and the need to strive to make right with all our relations. For our time together today, we will have these features in our celebration: blessings, remembrances, art, invocations, resources, allyship, tips, music, good news, and poetry, among other things. And most of all, we have each other, we have ourselves, and we have a chance to celebrate all that that means while we're here together today.
The Transgender Day of Remembrance, otherwise known as TDOR, was started in 1999 by transgender advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith as a vigil to honor the memory of Rita Hester, a transgender woman who was killed in 1998. Since then, the annual ceremony commemorates all the transgender people lost to violence since Rita Hester's death. In 2015, the term Trans Day of Resilience was coined by the New Orleans-based organization Breakout for an emphasis on survival, power, courage, and courage of the transgender community, especially trans women of color who face disproportionate violence to celebrate life, resistance, and the ongoing fight for liberation and equality. Today, many organizations and events observe the day as Transgender Day of Remembrance and Resilience, acknowledging both the need to mourn those lost and to celebrate the community's strength and survival. The core date remains November 20th.
We call into our minds and into our circle our internal resources. We call in the abilities and strengths which have gotten us this far, which we depend on when we're stuck or scared or lost. We call in our courage and grit. We call in our kindness and our humor. We call in the love we can offer freely to ourselves, to others, to the elements and the universe. These resources may be valued or devalued by the world around us, but we choose to value them here, to offer gratitude, to honor them, to invite their protection and presence with us today.
We call into our minds and into our circle all of the people who are resources, our friends and loved ones, our ancestors and mentors, alive and dead. We call in those who have encouraged or inspired us to be our full selves. We call in those who have made us laugh. We call in the ones who have shown us how to be brave, who have blazed trails or taken down obstacles so that we could go through and see another way. We call in those who have loved us into being. We offer you our gratitude, we honor you, and we invite you to your protection and presence with us today.
We call into our minds and into our circle our spiritual resources, all the beings and energies that guide us, who ground us, who are known and unknowable, who come to us in story, in mystery, in song, in emptiness and in fullness. We call in all of the divine ones, all the energies of love, all those who reach out to us from the tiniest heartbeat and from the vast breathing of the universe. We reach back. Divine ones, we offer you our gratitude. We honor you and we invite you and your protection and presence with us today.
We call in the spirit of the non-binary, of everything beyond the limits of either or, the spirit of and, of multiplicity, of manyness, of in between and all around, the one who catches us when we fall through the cracks between the categories, who see us when no one else does. We honor you and we invite your protection and presence with us today.
We call in the spirit of liminality, of the unknown or not yet, of being without language or definition, of thresholds, of transitions, of border spaces and margins, the one who grounds us so that we can step out into ungrounded space. We honor you and we invite your protection and presence with us today.
We call in miracles, connection, belonging, healing of body and spirit and community, justice, nourishment, guidance, mercy, and change. We call all these things up and out of the earth. We call them out of the depths of the oceans. We call them through cleansing fire. We call them in on the strength of the wind. I'd like to share with you all a blessing for both advocacy and resilience. With the black flame, we banish hatred and fear. Let their shadows dissolve, revealing the steady strength that rises when the heart is no longer burdened. With the red flame, we kindle advocacy and justice. May this light spark courage, fortifying our voices and our steps, that we may stand firm even when the way is hard. With the white flame, we invoke resilience and hope. May its brilliance guide us, renewing our spirits and reminding us that we can bend without breaking. By these sacred flames, may balance be restored, and may we move forward with unshakable strength, open hearts, and a commitment to equity for all. So mote it be. The Human Rights Campaign has been collecting the names of transgender individuals in the United States that have died by fatal violence since 2013. In the last year, 32 transgender individuals were murdered in the United States. 78% of the victims were individuals of color. 56% were Black transgender women. And 38% were then misgendered or dead named by the press. Today, we read the names of our beloved transgender dead to honor their lives, to bear witness to the violence and injustice they faced, and to ensure that they are never forgotten. Each name is a life, a story, and a light that continues to shine in our hearts. By speaking their names aloud, we affirm their worth, hold space for collective grief, and renew our commitment to the world where all transgender people can live safely, freely, and with dignity.
I want there to be a book of our names, none of them missing, none quite the same, none of us ashes, all of us flames, and I want us to read it aloud. I wanted to tell of our exile here in a cruel machinery, our bodies between the gears, and our world back home, just the ghost of a player. And I want us to read it aloud. I want us to read it aloud. And our names will be heard through prison walls, through wet city streets and international calls. And we'll read it until this whole empire falls. And then we will continue to read it, and the names will be the real ones that are ours, not the ones given us by the enemy powers, but the ones that we know in our bones and our bowels, and they'll be said out loud and repeated. Yes, I want there to be a book of our names, none of us missing, none exactly the same, none of us ashes, all of us flames, and I want us to read it aloud. I want us to read it aloud.
Today, we pause to honor the countless transgender lives stolen by violence across the globe. Though we may not know all of their names, we can carry their memories in our hearts. Each of their deaths stand as a devastating reminder of the cost of living authentically in a world too often marked by hatred and ignorance. We thank all the transgender individuals murdered across the globe for their courage, for their sacrifices, and for paving the way toward a future where we all can live freely as our true selves. May their spirits guide us and lend us strength as we continue to fight for justice and equality. You may be unknown, but you are not forgotten.
Today, we gather in remembrance and resistance. We honor those taken from us by violence, by neglect, or by a world that could not hold the fullness of who they were. We release them with love and dignity, and may they journey onward in peace.
As we remember, we also honor all who are bound to this grief and resilience, loved ones of each who died, those who have compiled the reports that ensure they are not forgotten, transgender people who have been attacked but survived, the communities and places where these losses occurred, transgender people everywhere living their truth with courage, transgender rights activists who continue to struggle for safety and dignity, humankind whose duty is to rise to compassion and justice, and to the great circle of nature, of which we are all part of, holding every life within its sacred turning.
As we honor the dead and uplift the living, we call upon the elements to sustain us. Air, the breath that sustains us. May it fill our lungs with clarity and renewal, carrying our prayers, our protests, and our dreams. May air remind us that our voices matter and that speaking truth is a sacred act.
Fire, the spark of courage and transformation. May it burn away shame, ignite the righteous anger, and kindle the fierce resilience that has always lived within us. May fire light the path toward justice, so none are left in the shadows.
Water, the keeper of emotion and flow, may it wash through our grief, soften what has hardened, and remind us that our tears are sacred. May water carry our memories forward with tenderness.
Earth, the ground beneath each step. May it root us in community and truth, offering stability when the world feels unsteady. May Earth remind us that we belong, that our bodies are worthy, and that we deserve a place to stand.
And above, below, and within us all is spirit, the unbroken thread connecting the living to the dead, the past to the future, and each of us to one another. Spirit moves through us with quiet certainty, whispering that resilience is not just survival, it is the courageous act of continuing to become.
Today we mourn. Today we resist. Today we reaffirm that trans lives are precious, whole, and unstoppable. May the memories of the fallen guide us. May the strength of the living sustain us. And may we walk forward together, held by the elements, rooted in resilience, carrying love as our banner and liberation as our promise. So mote it be.
My gender is the undoing of gender. I wasn't always the pansy I am now. I used to have a perm, and no one on earth is tougher than a butch with a perm, especially when wearing a backward baseball cap mascara and a muscle shirt, wallet chain bouncing off my quadricep, military boots, and a look in my eye that said, "Give me a white flag and I'll use it for nothing but checking my oil and wiping my sweat." I drove a Z24 Chevy, The muffler built to sound like a motorcycle with a smoker's cough. I cried only in private and spent not a single second alone. My best friends were bar stools and jogs. My shoulder blades sharp as my tongue, which was in a perpetual state of fuck off. But the day I got my first buzz cut, something or everything changed. I looked in the mirror and my tuff relaxed. My body so at ease my eyes could no longer hold. The flood back mascara raced off my face to water my fist, which was no longer a fist, but a carnation in full bloom soon. I traded my car for a bicycle with a basket, which I rode to the craft store to buy thread to stitch fabric from the clothes I was wearing into dolls I'd give as gifts. Too true to be believable, I know, but it is. At the bar, Budweiser in hand, my pinky finger ballerinaed into the air. I looked like a princess sipping tea, about to chase my finger back inside. I sung, "Good God, Andrew, let that sweet child run free." Andrew. It was the first time I'd said it out loud. And I'd say more now, but it's all quite simple. I became this me so I could finally be the fairy I always was. I cut my hair and grew out my feelings instead. If someday I have a mustache, I know I'll be comfortable wearing a dress. And if I ever have a beard, I'm certain I'll be the prettiest girl I have ever been.
I don't have to tell you that it is a rough moment in the history of this geopolitical construct known as the United States for trans and gender nonconforming people. What you see on the screen is a risk map brought to us by the journalist Erin in the Morning. It shows that this is not a nation where it is very safe in very many places to be a trans person. You can see that there are 2 states where we are recommended to not even travel, which is probably not the best foreboding for folks who live in those states. There's been a wave of executive orders targeting trans Americans that's reshaping the national landscape in a chilling fashion. There have been all sorts of directives that have forced nonprofits and healthcare sites and mental health care sites to abandon trans people in the interest of protecting their own stability and solvency. And it's become quite normal to say atrociously hateful and wrong things about trans people of all ages. You can see, though, that there are many protective states where these states have gone above and beyond in safeguarding the rights and well-being of trans individuals. And there are numerous kinds of additional good news that we will look at soon in the next few minutes together. But before we do that, we want to cover what are some standard allyship steps that we can take, especially if you are not trans or gender nonconforming or intersex or non-binary. These are allyship steps that we can each take to try to keep our communities places that are as safe as possible for trans people. So here are some of those allyship and justice action steps.
Fight the proliferation of hateful and harmful laws and policies. Speak up to your representatives, especially if you live where trans people are targeted.
Advocate that schools near you have robust anti-bullying campaigns and ideally gender and sexuality alliances or gay-straight alliances.
Make every space you are. Make every space you're in into a safe space. Interrupt and abolish hate. Don't ever allow anyone to tell jokes about sexual or gender minorities or use derogatory terms.
Always use the name and pronouns someone asks for, even if these change over time, context, or circumstances.
Practice if you need to, but not on or with the trans people that you're mispronouncing.
If you make a mistake, correct yourself, apologize quickly, move on, and pay better attention the next time.
Politely but firmly and consistently remind people if you hear them use wrong names, pronouns, or terminology. This is especially important if you're cisgender.
On the screen, you'll see some headlines of good things that are happening, even in the midst, or especially in the midst, or in reaction to, in response to the terrible things that we were speaking of earlier. There are so many examples of allies stepping up and being conspicuous in their support of trans, intersex, and gender nonconforming people. There are states that have become sanctuary states for gender affirming care, moving to protect privacy and dignity for trans individuals, and securing healthcare access and mental health access. There have been various kinds of efforts to halt the anti-trans bills and policies that have been rampant. And the legal system is in many cases playing out to slow or halt those, and to prevent the worst policies from taking root. There have been expansion of hate crime laws in several states, including Michigan recently enacted a new hate crime law that includes sexual orientation and gender identity. There are various kinds of community and cultural supports available, and agencies taking the opportunity to reaffirm their commitment to trans people. It might be hard to see the good things that are happening. It might be hard to cling to the resistance that is very much alive and being very effective in many areas and in many situations. It may be hard to trust that we are being able to stem the flow of rancorous, hateful, ugly things that are flowing our way. But resistance is real, it is fierce, it is happening, and in many cases, we are winning. Most importantly, we are winning because we are surviving and thriving together.
Within each of us burns a divine spark, an unbreakable light that no hatred, hardship, or judgment can extinguish. It is the truth of who we are, sacred, worthy, and whole. This spark connects us to one another, reminding us that every life carries purpose and every heart deserves to be honored. No matter the path we walk or the struggles we endure, we are held in love by our communities, by our ancestors who guide us, and by the divine presence that lives within us all. You are loved. Let us now envision our nation, the United States, transformed into a place where transgender people live safely, freely, and in harmony, where equality, justice, and liberty are realities for all. Let us expand that vision from the United States to our planet, Earth, our shared home, becoming a world where transgender people everywhere can live openly, safely, and joyfully, embraced by equality, justice, and freedom. Let us reflect on the ways each of us can contribute to these positive transformations, bringing them into being in our communities, our nation, and the world. Let us see in ourselves joined together in solidarity, connected with one another, and with all who gather in remembrance and hope on this Transgender Day of Remembrance and Resilience. We honor the dead. We honor the dead by remembering their lives, their courage, the love they gave. In holding their memory, we affirm their worth, bear witness to their stories, and ensure that their lives continue to inspire justice, compassion, and resilience in the world. We uplift the living. We uplift the living by standing with them in love, support, and solidarity. We celebrate their courage, honor their journeys, and work to create a world where they can live freely, safely, and fully as their authentic selves. We transcend, transform, and thrive. We transcend barriers, transform justice, and thrive together as a community. In rising beyond fear and oppression, we claim our power, embrace our resilience, and shape a world rooted in equity, freedom, and love.
She say, wide, she say, wide smiles are the solution for the revolution. They say strong hearts are the solution for the revolution. Z say safe homes are the solution for the revolution. They say deep laughs as the solution for the revolution. They say worthy coin is the solution for the revolution. Z say radical care is the solution for the revolution. He say open streets are the solution for the revolution. Y'all say our truth is the solution for the revolution. Imprecatory prayers to the transcestors, to the trans ancestors and elders who have guided us here. We honor your legacy with new celebrations. May our bodies persist. Let them shine whole and well. May our minds calibrate to the call of the universe. Let our protest songs transfigure to peace hymns. Let our cultural knowledge produce nourishment. May our homes bustle warm with abundant love. May our communities flourish despite borders. Let our love quake, open any lingering shackle. Let our joy obliterate any festering contempt. As we bind each other closer, we manifest futures more possible.
We know that when times are rough, we sometimes need extra support. And so we've provided all sorts of resources to help you along your way, including these suicide prevention resources on the screen here. Across the United States, you can call 988 instead of the National Suicide Prevention Line, and that will ring anywhere in the nation to a crisis line. However, if you are in a place where you don't have confidence that the mental health crisis lines in your jurisdiction will be welcoming and supportive to you, then you might want to prioritize calling the Trevor Project for Young People or the Trans Lifeline or one of these other numbers on the screen. We have a bunch of other resources, including music, self-care resources, information about all the art that you see that's provided by trans and non-binary people, at that QR code there. So you can clip that QR code and find lots of resources. And here are some music resources that you might be interested in to help you to find a good soundtrack for your life and for whichever moments you find yourself in. And now we'll have our closing blessing.
As we close this circle, we carry forward the work of justice with hearts unyielding and spirits ablaze. May our steps be bold, our voices unwavering, and our actions rooted in truth and integrity. We call for an end to all violence, bidding harm and hatred to fall away. Let compassion take root where discord once dwelled, and let peace rise and flourish in its place. With hope as our guiding flame, we look toward a future made brighter by love, by equity, and by collective resolve. May we walk this path together, united in purpose and fortified by community, ever blessed by the enduring light of the divine. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Thank you for spending some time with us celebrating the resilience of trans and non-binary people everywhere, for remembering those whom we've lost. To close us out, we will watch a video by Billy Porter. And we wish you to be well and be safe, and to remember that you have each other and us.
Opioid addiction gets between you and what you love. Once monthly supplement.
See, I know times are hard. Yeah, I mean it from the heart. You're not losing the fight. Love will make it alright. 'Cause I've been there, done that, won that dress, so you know mama knows it best. Hey. Not trying to patronize a little bit. Baby, I empathize, I must admit. But I need you to recognize that ain't it. See, a change starts today. Better wipe those tears away. Some people criticize the way you live, but don't you apologize or dare submit. Baby, the children's where the future is. See, a change starts today. Better wipe those tears away. See, I know times are hard. I mean it from the heart. You're not losing the fight. Love will make it alright. 'Cause I've been there, done that, worn that dress, so you know mama knows it best. I gotta let these children know what time it is. Gotta let these children know what time it is. Gotta let these children know what time it is. 'Cause I've been there, done that, worn that dress, so you know mama knows it best. I lived a whole lot of life. I ain't new to this. Lot of lows, lot of highs. I stay true to this. Take my hand, join the ride. You know you'll have it figured out in time. just so you know.